Hello YouTube. This week's project on the H1 is going to be factory seat replacement. So I finally got the factory seats out and got the new brackets made. Going to show you those in a minute. But everybody knows that AM General didn't put a lot of thought into the OEM seats that go into the H1s. They're not really comfortable. There's no support. They move around a lot. So it's kind of clunky and utilitarian, and I'm kind of glad these are going away. And they are going to get replaced with these Corbeau Trail Cats that I picked up ordered them directly from Corbeau. And everybody knows if you buy Corbeau seats or a lot of the other aftermarket seats, they only come in vinyl, and that keeps the cost down on these seats. And these aren't not expensive, but they are really comfortable. So I waited about 2 months for an upholstery shop up in Scottsdale to recover these in black BMW leather, and they did a fantastic job. I mean, they look really, really nice. And I had them embroider the H1 logo into the back. That's actually a light silver color. It's not white. It looks better in person. But anyway, any seat you decide to put in your H1 is going to require some seat bracket modification. You could probably buy something off the shelf and hope it works, but it's really nice if you can use the factory hole location in the floor. And let me show you what the ended up doing on these seat brackets. So there's a lot of machine work that went into these, and I replaced the sliders, so the sliders are brand new. And these original, these outer, all these aluminum brackets that are on the lower half of this were made for the factory seats. And then when I went to the Corbeau's, I had to build this riser right here to replace what the factory seat took out. So I did these in black. You're not going to see them anyway. And the reason I didn't do it to match this is because this is kind of a custom color. And if you anodize anything in a custom color, you know, there's a process to it. When they put it in the anodized tank, it's a certain voltage they apply to the electrolyte. There's a certain chemical formula. And chances of these guys being able to match this color perfectly, it wasn't going to happen. So I just did these in black, and you're not going to see it anyway. And this color here is the same as what I did on all the other interior components, all the cup holders in the back, and all the dash components, and all that stuff up here. So this bracket was kind of unique. If you know, or maybe you don't know, but the front passenger seat on an H1 is the absolute worst. The factory one sits in at an angle, so that's why these mounting holes, this one's on the inner board, this one's outboard. I think this is like a 3-degree angle. If you try to put this seat in straight, your knees are going to hit this your footwell right here, so they kind of angle that seat a little bit towards to get your feet down into the footwell better. And also, if you don't angle it, the bolster will hit the inside here, and the backrest will hit the pillar right here. And you have to put the seat in. I tried every possible way to find a solution to get that seat in there straight just for aesthetics, but it wasn't going to happen. So this one will go in, and it's a little bit of it's a 3-degree angle, but so is the factory one, so not going to be an issue. Now, before I built these, I had this whole thing mocked up with the 2x4s and plywood, because it's a whole lot cheaper than machining up parts and finding out they don't fit. So I just did a whole wooden block up here to get the angle I wanted and then get the height and all that stuff. So I mocked that up, put the seat on top, kind of carefully climbed in there. And once I got something I liked, I just mimicked all these brackets off of the big wooden block that I had built. And the back seat, it's actually a little bit simpler. There's no slider, but it's I had to remake these brackets up here. And I slotted them so I can adjust that seat forward and back a little bit, because I didn't want it crashing into the back here. So I want to keep that seat just a little bit off so it doesn't rub and tear up that new leather. So these will drop in, and they just bolt up from the bottom. And on the other side, it's about the same way. So this one has my Rockford Fosgate subwoofer mounted under it, and it's a powered sub. And I was going to do one over on the other side as well, but for what this is, this thing hits pretty hard, and it's bolted in solid. It's not going to go anywhere. Real nice I ran the wires down here under the column. I said it's not real bright in here, so you can't see that, but the wires are tucked away real nice. So that's turned out pretty nice. And then the front bracket, same thing. This one's straight though, so it's going to work out really well. Now I slotted this one side to side a little bit because the seat is pretty tight between this edge right here and the pillar on here. So with a little bit of adjustment, I should be able to tweak it in to where it doesn't hit on either side. And that should be ready to go. So I'm going to start bolting these in, and then having the quick disconnect steering wheel is kind of nice. So you can get your steering wheel out of the way so you're not tearing that up. But another fall project is going to be taking all these interior panels out, and they're going to get recoated and probably get carpet in the bottom and some other stuff. But that's a video for another day. So let me get a couple seats started here, and we'll see what they look like after they get installed, and I'll be back. Okay, we are back, and all the seats are installed. So this one came in really nice. I had the side-to-side adjustment, so I was able to get the seat as close as I can. I could barely get my fingers down in there. I got maybe 1/4 of an inch or so behind there. And that also helps keep the seat centered up with the steering wheel. Nothing worse than driving down the road and you got your steering wheel off to one side. And I got plenty of room here for my side, so that worked out great. And this is super comfortable, and it just feels solid and firm. It feels like a sports seat. And I thought I was going to miss the armrest, but the armrest is kind of nice on the old seats. But you know what? I'd rather have a nice seat than an armrest, so I'm not going to miss it at all. But they turned out great. They look fantastic. And the back ones, I'm gonna go around the other side here. So that went in really nice. I was able to adjust it so there was it didn't hit the back of the cab here. And you know, I'm 6 foot and I can kind of get in there, and my knees will hit a little bit. The seat will go forward if you have a passenger in the back, but it's tight. The old seats were tight, but I'm rarely going to have anybody back here anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. So I wish I had more light in here, but you know, it's September in Phoenix, and it's supposed to hit 114 today. So I got my air conditioner going. I'm not opening my garage door because it is hot outside. So going off to this side, same thing. Went in really nice. And you know what? If you're going to put seats in your truck, the location is critical. I mean, side to side, front to back, clearance here. This one was tight, and it worked. And I have, now, like I said earlier, you've got that 3-degree angle. You can't really tell. You can a little bit, but it's not a big deal. I got maybe 3/4 of an inch back here, and this is really tight in here. I mean, I can still get the seat belt in and out, but it's a little tighter than I like, and I could actually move this one inboard just a little bit more. Maybe I'll think with that later, but that puts you back in the seat to where your feet are down inside the footwell rather than your knees crashing into here. But overall, I'm ecstatic, man. I love these seats, and they feel good. They look good. The BMW leather is really, really nice on those. Paid a little extra for that, but hey, you know, there's nothing cheap. If you're going to do some custom modification on your H1, nothing is cheap. You know that, right? So that's about it for this video, and I'm going to give you guys a little spoiler alert for my next video. I'm going to be replacing the transmission cooler that was installed by the Predator guys out in Vista, and they put it under the truck, and I really don't like it under there. We're going to crawl into there. I'm going to show you where they locate it. But anyway, I ended up buying the same unit that's under there now. I couldn't really reuse the old one because they made custom brackets for it. They cut the mounting flange off, and it got pretty grungy in the short amount of time it was under there. I don't know if you saw my video, but last year I lost my turbo, and I replaced it with a calibrated power bearing turbo. And there was a lot of smoke coming out from the end of the truck, and a lot of that oil went into the old cooler that's down there. And this is made by Durali. They make fantastic products. This is the Hypercool Extreme, 10 AN fittings, 800 CFM. And you know, guys, if you're gonna do any kind of plumbing like this on your truck, buy the decent stuff. This is the Russell Superflex hose, Russell fittings, Russell 180-degree bends. Do not buy that garbage on Amazon. Oh, look, I got the whole kit for $90 with fittings and everything. Yeah, that's what you'll be telling your friends when your truck's on the side of the road because all the oil blew out of it. So get the good hose. Don't chintz out on that cheap stuff, man. This is lifeblood for your engine, so and your transmission. So, you know, pony up and get the good stuff. You know it's going to last forever. I think this hose is rated at 750 psi, which is plenty for an Allison 1000. But let's crawl into the truck and I'll show you why I'm doing this. And this one is going to get mounted in the back of the truck. I decided to move my my power tanks that are going to be used for my air lockers. I'm going to relocate those somewhere else. And that cooler is going to go up against that plate. I'm going to take that plate out. I got to cut a big hole in it. And the fittings will come up through the bed. And yeah, I know when I put this tire carrier in, I said I didn't want to drill holes in the bed. That's why I made these all these brackets down here to bolt into the factory locations here and the factory locations on the front side. But you know what? I think that ship has sailed. I'd rather have my tranny cooler in a much better spot. So let me get into the truck and show you where it is now, and then you'll kind of understand why I'm moving it to a different location. Okay, welcome to the bottom of my truck. So anyway, when Predator did the Duramax install, space is limited on where they could put this this cooler. So they made some custom brackets, which you can see, like this one right here, and there's another one on the backside that bolts the cross member. It's actually this bracket right here. This is a custom, and they cut the mounting fins off that were on here. It did have the tabs coming out the side here, so I could have made some new angle iron brackets once I got this out, but you know, I'm just gonna go shiny and new and then just end up getting rid of this one. But this thing is literally like, you know, this is your exhaust pipe right here. It's your 4-inch exhaust. There is so much heat under this truck when you're going down the road. Plus you got the heat coming off the pavement and you're inches from the drive shaft. And I was never comfortable with having this here. They use the pretty good fittings and connectors, but they use this 300 psi hose here that goes all the way up, and it runs over the gas, around the gas tank, and it comes over here, and it connects to the side of the Allison 1000. So, gonna replace those with the braided line, and it should be a pretty cut and dry install. Just drop this one down. I'm gonna lose some fluid, but I've got the pinch off pliers. You can pinch these and not lose a bunch of oil out of them. But so anyway, that's going to come out. That's my next project, and I think this will work out a whole lot better if it was in the bed of the truck, up above, away from all this heat and debris and everything else that comes off the road. So join me next time on my next video, and thanks for watching.